Hi, I'm David, the product manager of VizualTravel, and today I'm going to show you how to make a beautiful Tokyo trip plan, just like this, customized to your liking, that you'll be able to add points to, edit points, and visualize. So you'll be able to actually, as you're building your trip plan, you'll be able to see like really what you're going to do every single day, like how much time you're going to spend at this spot, the transport in between, how much that's going to take, how much what you're going to do at each place, how that's going to look, all of that for free. In this video, you're going to see how to do all of this for free. So let's get started. Go on Google, look up VizualTravel with a Z, click on the first link. At the top of the page, you'll see a Plan a Trip button. Click on it. Sign in. Once you sign in, you're going to see something like this. Yours will be a bit different because my trips will be empty for you. But that's why we're going to create a first trip. Click on Create a New Trip, the button at the top. Click on Tokyo. And here we go. It just created automatically a Tokyo trip for 3 days. And most people, when they get to this screen, they're like, oh, what do I do? Yeah, it's a bit confusing. We're going to work on it. But for now, what you just need to do is click at the top right on Itinerary. Ignore the map for now. Click on Itinerary, and at the left, you're going to see the Itinerary menu. And in the Itinerary menu, there's two major sections. There's the day by day, and there's the multi-city view. In this case, we created a trip for Tokyo, so we only see Tokyo. But you could have added other cities like Osaka, Kyoto, and so on. For this video, I'm just going to stick with one city. But I wanted you to know that this section exists. So go back to day by day, which is really what most people struggle with the most, which is organizing each of your days, activity by activity, restaurants, everything. You're going to see here your 3 days. Day 1, day 2, day 3. You're able to add a day, remove a day, and at the top you can change the date to, let's say, the 15th of April. And you're going to see one point in each of these days. This is the point that you're seeing on the map, which is Tokyo start point. It's just a placeholder point that was placed at the middle of the action for Tokyo, that it just serves as like, okay, this is your reference point. The first thing you're going to want to do is most probably just add a hotel. So you can do it yourself, find a hotel yourself on booking.com or whatever. But on VizualTravel, if you want, we have handpicked chosen recommendations. If you click on hotel at the top right, you're going to be able to see them on the map. And these are all hotels that were like pretty much, verified. Everybody likes them. Google reviews are good. Reddit forums say they're good. Our users say they're good, and that's why they're here. And you can just click on any of these, and you're going to see, actually, for this, let me just move my head so it doesn't annoy. You're going to see a video pop up of the room, of the actual hotel. Like, it's going to show you what to expect when you book this hotel room. And you can do this for each of these, depending on your budget, your likings. This is what I think the best way to pick your hotel. Not just price, but actually seeing what to expect when you're going to put that key on your door and open up the room. Are you going to be satisfied or not? I wanted to meet your expectations. So I personally went with Hotel Thomas, and what you're going to want to do when you have your hotel, click on it, click add to trip, click day 1 and add. And this is going to automatically add it to day 1. And you're going to see it right away on the map and in the itinerary menu. And the first thing I'm going to do is actually delete the Tokyo start point. So I'm going to click on that point and forget about all these buttons. They're not useful just to make a beautiful trip plan. They're like really when you want to go deep in it and really customize your trip plan. For now, let's stick to following what I tell you, and this will be enough for you to make a beautiful trip plan. So Click on remove point. This removes the point completely from your trip editor. And if you see day 1, day 2, day 3, it's all Hotel Tomos. So here we are. Day 1, we have our hotel. Now it's time to plan our day. Now, one more thing. Click here, it says 8:19. I personally would like to start my day at 8. Fixed time. So you click there, the top, modify time, and you can set now the time to 8 a.m. Click OK, and here we go. That gives me time to have breakfast, wake up, get nice and ready, and get started for my day. Now, let's go find something to do for the day. So let's click at the top right on activity and see what's around there. Here you're going to see, this is a list of the top 50 things to do in Tokyo. It's not everything, but it's what we think is pretty much the best. And it's what we've seen people online say, this is pretty much what you should do when you go to Tokyo. We put 50, so you have more than enough activities to choose from for your preferences. I personally like for day 1 to choose activities close to my hotel. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to click on, for example, Senso-ji Temple, and again, I can see the video, I can see how much it costs. This is free actually. The shopping street, great, free also. Tokyo Skytree, oh, this one is paid, 14 US about. Okay, interesting. And once I'm ready, let's just start adding points. Let's go with the closest one to the hotel, Senso-ji. Click add to trip, day 1, add, and it gets added. And now we're starting to get something really interesting. Let me move back my face to the right because I think I'm going to be doing something on the left side soon. So for the transport here, this is a drive. It's a 4-minute drive. I would never do a 4-minute drive. I would do a walk. So I would to change it, I click on the transport icon at the top left. I click on it and I click walk. I have 2 options, enter manually a time or fetch from Google. I'm going to do fetch from Google. Automatically it fetches it from Google, and here you can see 11 minutes to get from the hotel to Senso-ji Temple. Everything is done automatically. And here we are, our first activity added. Let's add some more. Let's add this one. We're going to go shopping a bit. Great. Again, I want to walk to that place. Let's add another one. What else is there? Oh, yeah, Tokyo Samurai. That's a good one for me. Good, adding that one. Now, I'm going to show you something that's important. You change your transportation, great. But if you want to change, you'll see like a 1-hour duration by default for each activity. But some activities you might want to go a bit faster. For example, the shopping for me, not so sure. I would probably reduce the time here. So I would put it 30 minutes here. And that would basically mean that this activity I'm going to be staying only 30 minutes. Let's add another activity. What else could we do? Let's go for the Skytree one. Let's add that one. Day 1, great. Now, the drive here, for Tokyo specifically, I prefer to use transit most of the time. So I'm going to go and select transit. And here you're going to see an option called search transit time on Google. This is important. If you click on that, what you're going to see is the points automatically filled on Google, and Google's going to tell you approximately how much time that takes. Now be careful. By default, most of the time they'll show you the drive. I suggest you go at the top, click on transit, and then you're going to be able to see only transit times. And now you can properly estimate 14, let's say 15 minutes to get from Tokyo Samurai Ninja Experience to Tokyo Skytree. Here we go. Now you have to set the time manually. You do this by clicking transit, enter manually. The time we saw on Google, 15. Let's add that. And it gets added automatically here. Now, this is great. The next thing is, we just added 4 activities. You're probably hungry at this point. So let's click on restaurant. And let's see what kind of restaurants are being offered in the area. So if we're on Tokyo Skytree, there's pretty much only this option. Now, what is it? Oh, it's a sushi, conveyor belt sushi. That's great. You can see it in the video also. You can watch the whole video to see exactly what to expect. You see a price. Now for me, this is acceptable considering it's sushi, but for some it might not be. So you feel free to go on Google, find what's near Skytree and adding it to VizualTravel. But personally, this is okay for me. I'm just gonna add it to the trip. I'm gonna click add to trip. Same thing with restaurants, add to trip. It's added, change it to a walk. Great. Now what else could we do? Well, let's see. Oh, here we go. Tokyo National Museum. No. Let's go with the Ueno Park. That's good. Let's add this. I'm going to show you something else that's really important. I'm going to add Ueno Park, right? So this is a 17-minute drive from the sushi spot to Ueno Park. Now the thing is, there's a Sumida aquarium right here. And now I'm really interested in going here, so I'm going to add this too. The problem here is I just added Ueno Park, which is something I want to do, and Sumida Aquarium, but they're like at opposite places. I'm leaving this area, going here, and then coming back again. Super inefficient. So what you're going to want to do is when you see this on the map happening, just click on Sumida Aquarium, drag it up right on top of Ueno Park, and automatically it'll get readjusted. The whole trip has gotten readjusted so that you're actually going from sushi to Sumida. You still need to change it to a walk, but now it makes much more sense. And now if we look at the transit to go to Ueno Park, we see 31 minutes. In this case, I might actually go for a taxi because I'm saving almost half the time. So I'll keep the taxi. That's good. I'm going to show you another thing that you're going to want to know. Let me add a restaurant around here. Okay, there's this one. That's $14. Beautiful meal. Why wouldn't I? Click day one. Here it is, added. Let's go for a walk. Why take a drive when you can walk? I'm going to add some time to Sumida Aquarium. I forgot to do this. Here it is. Great, 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 great. We have our lunch, we have our dinner. Okay, what's next? Let's do an activity next. Or wait, Tokyo Skytree, we should probably spend a little more time there. Samurai Experience also. Like, this is how I like the trip plan. You just play around with it, you know? You want to spend a bit more time here. You want to spend a bit less there. You feel free to do what you think is right. So it's your trip. It's not you're not doing somebody else's trip. You should be doing your trip. You should be able to edit it. So here we are at the restaurant. Let's add an activity. I'm going to show you something really important. Oh, we got lucky. Right next to the restaurant, there's an activity. Click add to trip. Day one. And let's change it to a walk. Great. I'm going to show you one last thing. Now we want to go back probably to the hotel because it's the end of the day. You're going to click add point. Hotel Thomas Asakusa, which is the hotel. Here we go. Am I going to go for a drive or a transit? Let's take a look on Google. I love this feature. 22 minutes. All right, let's go for the transit. Let's go 22 minutes. Now, I'm going to show you one last thing. You see here, you see an 8-minute time overlap. The reason this shows up is because this activity ends at 8:43. And then you have a 22-minute transit. Whereas this starts at 8:57. These are not sequential. So you're basically coming after your activity is supposed to start. So we're just warning you here that there's an overlap. And if you want to make sure your trip is sequential and actually doable, you're going to want to click on delay next activities. I personally always do this. I want my trip plan to make sense. You don't have to. You can keep it a bit, flexible. But in my case, I click delay. I know my trip makes sense at this point. I know the transport makes sense. I know the durations are what I chose. I like it this way. Now, this is pretty much, we're done. This is day one. We finished it. You would do the same thing for day two, same thing for day three, and that would be it. You would, at that point, I mean, refresh, you would probably come to this conclusion. Day 2, when you fill day 2 and day 3, you're going to have the same thing as this. I'm not going to do it now to not waste your time, but here's the result you would have. And now I'm going to show you some last things that you can do when you have this result. You can click at the bottom to have the carousel view. You can click on day 1 here to see all days or see a specific day in your trip. And another thing you can do is click visualize or the play button here, and it's going to allow you to actually see a visualization of that trip you made. So what we just did, you're going to be able to do the same thing on your side for free, and just constantly as you're making edits, you can replay it, replay it until it's perfect, until it is how you like it. And you can even take this whole trip, click on this small thing here, it's a share icon, and copy this link and send it to whoever you want. And they can actually save it and do their own modifications and build their own trip. Add another day. They can. It's so flexible. We're just trying to make you, empower you to trip plan in a better way, a more intuitive way. So that's it for this video. I've been talking a lot. In the next video, what I want to show you guys is how to create a trip plan for a city we don't cover. I think that's really important to show you because it's a little harder, but it's still extremely, extremely simple once you know how to do it. So that's it for this video. Thank you very much.